We basically almost lost 2 officers in this whole deal. If this happened in a traffic stop, it makes sense. If this happened on a search warrant gone wrong, it makes sense. This doesn't make sense.
It's really sad because I work here at the convenience store. I've known both of them. They both come in and get coffee, and they're both really nice. Like, I would have never thought it would have happened. They would come in together. They always seemed like they were pretty close to me. I just think it's sad. We should be praying for their families.
Those are shoes that we can't fill. Nobody can. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've never received a phone call even close to this. We'll try to put the pieces together as best we can and see what tomorrow leads to us.
APAC Central, Standard Materials Group, and Alliance Transportation.
The state attorney's office has released interrogation video of the former Manford police officer suspected of killing Manford Police Chief Lucky Miller.
The interview with Mike Neely was done just hours after deputies say Miller died in a Florida hotel room. New at 5 News on 6's Amy Slanchik has the video along with the newly released crime scene photos. Amy?
Craig and Lori, just a few minutes after Neely has read his Miranda rights, he asks investigators who is dead. During the interview, former Manford police officer Mike Neely repeatedly asks for clarity about whether his boss, Chief Lucky Miller, is dead.
Lucky's dead. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir, he's dead.
The two were staying in this hotel room in Pensacola, Florida for police training.
I would like to know what happened, because I'm telling you, I don't have any memory of any of this, and I'm shocked that Lucky's dead. I mean, it's shocking.
Investigators then tell Neely about noise complaints from other hotel guests and that a hotel security guard walked in to find Miller on the ground between the bed and the wall. They tell Neely he was sitting on Miller's chest and Miller's face was beaten. Investigators say the guard told Neely to get off and ended up pulling Neely off Miller. They said Neely then rolled off the bed and fell on his face, busting his nose and lip. Investigators say Miller was unresponsive.
I'm feeling my hands. My hands don't feel anything. What's he dead from? I don't understand.
I mean, it appears that he's been beat to death.
Neely told investigators.
He just said he's been beat to death. Think about this for a minute. He just said he's been beat to death. Right after Officer Neely says, I don't feel anything on my hands. Like, if I beat someone to death, would I not have bruising, broken fingers on my hands? He's a detective. Officer Neely is Manford's detective that took my complaint 6 days before this for car vandalism. It was one out of many that I hadn't reported, and I did report that one. 6 days later, I get a text. Chief Miller is dead, and the officer who took your report is arrested. But think about the logic. Just use some logic, good old-fashioned, I can put 2 and 2 together. He's looking at that detective, explaining to him, I don't remember anything. I don't remember what happened. I don't feel anything on my hands. And the detective, stupid, looks at him and goes, well, he's been beat to death. Correct. I get it. I get that. But there's nothing on me that would indicate I did that. The guy's not listening. So who bought that one? Who bought that guy, that cop, sitting right there? That is Scambia Sheriff Deputy. Detective, I call him Detective Stupid. His name is Martinez. So, Mr. Perry, no one cares what you think, really. You don't know the devastation you've caused. We get that you don't care. We get it. So we don't care what you think. And you continue to try to tell me what you think. You can continue to try to ask me who's helping me. And everybody's really getting aggravated at you for that. I've asked you not to contact me at all. It is inappropriate for you to do so. So for you to continue to do something I've asked you not to, and you know I don't like it, and you do it anyways, it's illegal, it's inappropriate, you're a disgust. You're a disgust. You're being stopped every time you're told on. So I'll continue, if you'll get out of my other phone and stop butting in. What I'd like you to do is shut up and quit hacking me. Shut up. Please, sir. You shouldn't even know what I'm doing right now. No one asked you what you think. No one fucking asked you. So the logic here is, it defies logic. The deputy is remember, I'm raised in 4 generations of police. My granddad's name is on the front door of the police station where he was chief. My granddad made a decision to do the right thing because it was the right thing to do. And he caught a lot of shit for it. And he stuck it out. And he didn't compromise. And he didn't apologize. And his name is on the front door of the police station now. That's my true north. That's what I look to as how you live your life. He handed a legacy down to the rest of us in the way that he lived that I'm not willing to sell to a cop killer. Use some good and I know how to Sherlock a case better than anything you've done this all your life, Mr. Perry. This was not your first rodeo. Usually what happens is someone commits a crime, and then they get away with it and they get bold. And then they do it again, and then they get away with it, and then they get bolder. And they get bolder and bolder until finally they just get arrogant and sloppy. And they start making mistakes. One of your first mistake was choosing me as a victim. I come from cop, sir. I can Sherlock anything. I can out-sting up anybody. Okay? Doesn't mean I'm better than everybody else. What that means is you picked the wrong person. You picked the wrong fucking person. So, using normal logic that anybody would use, when someone looks at you and says, this person is deceased, and it appears they were beat to death, and you were just told, there's nothing on me, then you got the wrong guy. You have to look at evidence. You can't listen to what people say so much as you look at the evidence. If Mr. Neely, police officer Neely, had been in a fight, he'd look like he was in a fight, and he doesn't. Mr. Perry, that's a problem for you. You are about to go to prison, and you act like you have no fucking idea what it means when we quote you every day for 7 years. Why are we doing that? Why are we getting that information? And what are we going to do with it? Why is it different when you do it to me? And it's the same every time you do it. You act like you don't know, same and different, before and after. We say it before, not after. Because you're caught planning some crime. It's different because no other victim has the information I have, do they? We all learned that at Sesame Street in daycare when we were like 2 years old. You're an old fart. You ought to know better. You disgust everybody. You don't understand how disgusted and repulsed and upset and sickened everybody is by you and horrified. You're not getting it. We don't have a problem getting information, sir. You do. We don't have leaks, sir. You do. Why is that? Answer the question. Why is it different when you do it to me? I want you to answer that question. I want you to answer it some way, somehow. Answer the fucking question. You like typing in my phone. So nobody will tell you who's helping me. Nobody will tell you who has the actual recordings. Nobody will tell you who your leaks are because everybody wants you to go away. Once you're in jail, you can't bother people anymore. And that's all you do all damn day. That's how you spend your life. Bothering and ruining and robbing and destroying. And you are hated people. All, you and your whole crew. Hated with seething hatred, sir. Because of what you've done to me and what you've done to Officer Neely. He's a cop. We're both cop people. I come from 4 generations. Doesn't get any more cop than me. It's different when you fucking did it to me. And it's the same every time you do it. We quoted you this morning. Please just take our car away. Please just take... please just take... Then she'll want me. Call me. Please. You know that person, Pat, on Saturday Night Live? That's you. You're exactly like that. Pathetic. Just pathetic. Whiny. I'm not referring to the gender, nobody knew if Pat was forget that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whiny that character played. You're that. And everybody's sick of hearing it. So I'm going to finish this. If you're a cop out there listening to this, come on. If you're sitting in front of Officer Neely and he's just said to you, Jason White, you're on fucking the first 48. If you're sitting in front of Officer Neely and he's pointing out to you, I don't have anything on my hands. I have nothing. Look at my hands. And the guy says, well, it appears he's beat to death. Exactly. I get that. You made that point. We're all clear on how he died. What I'm saying to you is there's nothing on me to indicate I did that. And I don't remember anything. He had the notes from the damn EMT stating that Mr. Neely was found in respiratory distress and unconscious and was treated for drug overdose and came to. If Mr. Neely was treated for was suffering from a drug overdose, opioids specifically, then given Benadryl, he's not going to come to. That's a misdiagnosis, right? But he's treated with medical people, got there. Medical people assessed him and determined that he had been overdosed with a drug. That drug, opioid. You got the notes in front of you, detective. When you allow the wrong person to be convicted and arrested, the guy that actually did it is still out reoffending. Mr. Perry, we've heard you talking about kidnapping me. We've heard you talking about hitman. Get another hitman. So, does everybody want to wait till he blows my head off before they do something? Our guys have a bigger case that would be compromised. Tulsa, you don't. You got 5. Calvin, whoever the fuck Calvin is. Okay, so here's this.
Both he and Miller had been drinking vodka. He says the two went to dinner and started watching a football game after that.
Lucky is dead. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Huh.
Neely faces a second-degree murder charge.
They weren't fighting. There's no evidence of any argument between the two. Chief Ridley and Ty Buttram said it doesn't make any sense. They weren't fighting. It doesn't make sense because that's not what happened. This is a wrongful conviction. I made the phone call. I have to live with this for the rest of my life. It's not going to go away. This is never going to go away. And now, the only thing, I can't get Lucky back. But you know what? I can't unmake the phone call. But all I can do is fight for Officer Lee to go back to his family. He's ripped away from his family, his wife, his boy, and he needs to go home to his family because he didn't do this. And the real offender, the real people who did this are still out trying to do it again. And until they're stopped, Charles, shut up. Get out of my phone. He types in my phone when I'm doing this. But for hacking and peeping, he wouldn't know what I'm doing. He thinks I give a fuck what he thinks, and nobody understands why he thinks that. No one understands, Mr. Perry. Why the hell you think I care what you think? Why do you think that? We're all sick of hearing it. And I'm repeating myself again, Alzheimer's. You need to go to the doctor and get yourself checked. You got a serious problem. I've been around a lot of very intelligent people all my life. I was only a dancer for 6 years. And actually a lot of intelligent people worked in there. Even the girls that I worked with, that everybody wants that discount as stupid strippers. I only had to say it one time. Where really everybody's irritated at the need to repeat things for you. You need to keep up with everybody else. Get a special ed teacher, okay? I'm sick and tired of saying the same thing to you. No one cares what you think. Shut up. Shut up. He's still out offending, Tulsa. Our guy's got a bigger case that they don't want to compromise. They've already done things you've not done. I have a McNamara email, right? He's gonna false arrest you and try to coerce you. Hitman conversations and shit. Kidnapping. Take her house and her car and make her dig out of a dumpster until she lies for us. Interference with commerce and contracts. You're interfering with some. You interfered with some today and yesterday. When you're told on, please take her car away, then she'll want a date with me. Oh my God. Get some dignity. Get a life. I mean, who the hell does that? Again this morning. You do that like once a week. Call up here. So yesterday, everywhere I go, I'm not even going to get into that right now. You know, all I'm going to say is, I gave a lot of lap dances to a lot of cops, didn't I? Just fucking take me to lunch and have a normal conversation with me and get it on your body cam. I'm not hard to talk to. I'm very straightforward. If you want to know what I'm thinking, ask me. I'll tell you. I don't have a problem with that. And we have the right to redress. The cops, Mr. Perry, work for the town of people of Tulsa. Not you. The thug. Why are you up in Oklahoma? You know, people in Lubbock are complaining about that. Charles Perry goes up to Oklahoma all the time. Cynthia left 9 years ago. Almost a decade ago. And he comes back and he's a victim of a different crime every week. Come on with that. You know, stop going to Oklahoma. And the other day, you know, some guy was talking, well, I guess you or somebody. They don't tell me who's on the recordings. They just play it for me, or it's a live feed. They still record it even as a live feed. And the guy was like, you don't have any injuries. Your expenses, you act like you got some horrible thing you're going through. Oh, it's not, get out of Oklahoma and leave her alone. Your expenses are not associated with property loss. You're not sleeping in your car. Your car wasn't wrecked 5 times in 3 years. You're not going through what she's going through. You're causing it. Your expenses are related to crime. And you got, you know, your losses, you got caught. You act all sad. No one believes you. You're sad you got caught and nothing else. You don't have the wires in your head to actually feel sad about anything. You don't have them. You're fucking, God, you're BTK. Gets off on causing problems.
Florida jail records show his next court date is in mid-February. Manford City Hall says Neely resigned from the police department. Amy Slanchik, Oklahoma's own, News on 6.
Now, how the hell the jury found him guilty? I don't know. I don't fucking know. His attorney, I'd like to, you know, when I say this, take it in this, you know, I get tired of having to explain everything I say. I'd like to beat the hell out of him. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, you know, people say stuff like that. Somebody needs to beat the crap out of that idiot. It's not literal. It's you're making a point. So, you know, and I shouldn't have to explain that. There's 2 things I've never had to do in my whole life. I'm grown up in the house of in the home of the police chief in Roswell. And then a city councilman, and then a county treasurer, and a GOP chairman. Our family was the power in the town where I grew up. And he helped, you know, put those fucking stupid ass alien museums over there. But, you know, because they bring money in. People want to see. You looky-loos, you know, let's bring money into the town of Roswell. My granddad told me what really happened, and I'm not allowed to get into that, but it's not what people think. Anyways, they didn't actually spread magic dust on me, and then I sprinkled some on Mike Neely, and with his magic gas, Magic Mike beat somebody to death so bad his head came off his body. Let me make this very clear. Charles, shut up. I don't care what you think. Get out of my phone. So when I stop and yell it like that, as crazy as that sounds, he'll stop. A lot of times he'll stop. I don't care what you think. Why do you think I do? And why are you making me repeat myself? 2 things I've never had to do. I grew up in that home. I work in government reform, federal, all my life. I did political consulting. I ran a medical business. I had raised 2 boys, all at the same time. In Vegas, I'm working with surgeons and elected officials, federal. So I'm around some very intelligent people, right? The cops helping me are very intelligent people, right? Never in my life have I had to do 2 things. 1, repeat myself. 2, nobody has time for that, Charles. You're gonna have to keep up with everybody else. You're slow mentally. It's irritating for me to have to deal with it. I don't know how. I really don't. 1 time is all I say. You better fucking keep up or get out of my face. Second of all, I never in my life had to explain when I was making a point with something, or a metaphor, or an analogy, or being snarky, or being sarcastic. Never. Until you stupid fuck, I had to explain everything I say. You can't keep up. You don't understand what people say to you. I don't have I don't have patience for you. No one does. We don't have problems getting information because everybody's losing patience with you. Everybody's sick of it. Sick of you. Listen to me. Shut up. No one cares what you think. No one asked you. You were told to shut up and get away from me. Every day that you're in my life, every day that you invade my privacy, every day Mike's in jail, and every day I'm broke, we get more information like your call this morning. Please take our car away. Then she'll want to date with me. People complaining about you. We're sick and tired of him coming back from Oklahoma. He's a victim of a crime every week. It's a different crime every week. Stay the fuck out of Oklahoma, genius. Why is he even going up there? She left 9 years ago. All the time. If we know what you said, we got our ear to the ground in a lot of places. Do you understand me? I don't care what you think. Didn't ask ya. I said shut up and get away from me. Act like you understand me. Act like you understand me. I say it one time. I say it one time. And I'm not going to explain my snark and my sarcasm and my metaphor. You fuckers keep up with everybody else. Nobody else has ever had... I've never had to do that before. It's just, I can't stand stupid. I can't stand it. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Second thing I can't stand is corrupt cops. Because I grew up in the house of cops. Good ones. You relieve suffering caused by crime. You relieve it. You don't cause it. You fucking relieve it. You step up. You do the job. You do it right. Your name is on your work. Your name's on it. Have some pride. There's honor in the badge. I made a phone call, and a cop is dead. And I can't live with it. I can't live with it. I'm not suicidal. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I have felt the need to do something to correct what happened. Why would you not want to help? This is a cop. They'll kill one cop, they'll kill another. How far are you going to let it go, Tulsa? Our guys can't compromise the whole thing because you're inept and irresponsible and show depravity and indifference to human life. We have an officer down in need of an assist, and you guys have pissed everybody off. Are you going to wait till I'm dead so you can put me on the first 48 like shooting fish in a barrel? Well, we know she was threatened for years. Somebody else helped her stay alive while we had our finger up our nose and did nothing. This guy needs your help. Well, our guys need your help. Get in the game. What side are you on? If you want to follow me around and get me on your dash cam, just fucking take me to lunch and we'll sit and talk and get me on the body cam. You can actually get me talking. And then you can hear how just talk to me. I'll tell you exactly what I think. I'm not impressed. Everybody feels like throwing up. You don't understand the throw up feeling, the sick at a cop being murdered and nobody, where are you? That you just don't care. What's wrong with you that you don't care? What's wrong with you that you can sit there and watch suffering and not do a damn thing? Nobody understands that. That's on the outside. Our guys that are working. I know about the hitman. I know about the kidnapping. I knew about the false arrest beforehand. I knew Mike Neely was drugged before it was on the docket because they're helping me and you're not. And you're letting this family down. How could you do that? I can't live with that. I feel the need to do something to right the wrong. And to relieve the suffering of the Neelys and the Millers. Think their dad was killed in a drunken brawl. He was not killed in a drunken brawl. He was murdered in the line of duty trying to protect me. 6 days? You think that's just a coincidence? If you think that's a coincidence, get out of law enforcement. There's no such thing. And you know that. When it comes to crime, there's patterns in this deal. There's patterns. There's I don't even know are you corrupt or are you just stupid? What's your problem? You want to follow me around and get me on your dash cam. Why? So you can watch me do a normal thing, law-abiding work? It's not illegal to do food delivery, last I checked. So if you think there's something illegal that I'm doing while I'm doing food delivery, get in my fucking car and go with me. How about that? You can go in the restaurant, watch me pick up the food, and take it to the guy's house, and then we'll just spend the whole day together. You're gonna buy me lunch. You're gonna fucking buy me lunch. Alright? You wanna get on me, get on me. Do it all the way. Otherwise, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove? That I'm out of words. I don't even know what to say to this. I don't know what to say. We heard the guy pissed off. This restaurant didn't have the food ready on time. What good did it do for me to go there, get her on my dash cam, and then she unassigns the delivery because the fucking restaurant doesn't have their act together? Who was that? Who said that? So, do you see the irritation amongst cops that are pissed off right now that the Miller kids don't know their dad was killed in the line of duty? That's a legacy for them. They're entitled to some benefits, I believe, and they're not getting them. They're being denied. That honor, they're being denied. And then the Neely family, the pain they must go through. What would if it was you? I would do the same thing for you. I didn't know Mike. I still don't know Mike. But I know this was a cop that I talked to for 30 minutes who took a report on a problem I'd been having for a long time. For a really long time. Stalkers do that. They vandalize your fucking car. That's what Connecting the Dots says. National Stalking Resource has the whole channel where you can learn how to do stalking complaints. If you don't know, teachers, learn it. Learn it. It's not okay you let this go. It's not okay you let this... Shut up, Charles! It's not okay you let this go. Mr. Perry, nobody cares what you think. I'm repeating myself again. You start keeping up. Keep up with everybody. No one understands why you think I care what you think. Why the fuck do you think that? You act mad. I don't care that you're mad. You're not the crowd I'm trying to please. You're the job. You're not the crowd I want to please. If you're mad for me, good. I'm doing something right. That is why I'm sleeping in my car. You retaliated against a witness in a murder of a cop. You still are. Please let me have me. Whiny. Man up. Grow a pair. And you need to keep up with everybody else mentally, and you can't do it. You can't. Do you have Huntington's disease? Do you know Huntington's disease causes paranoia and delusion? It doesn't get any more delusional than you. You actually think I care what you think. You never shut up. The longer you're in my life, the longer you invade my privacy, the more money you take from me, the longer I'm broke because you take my money, the longer Mike Neely is in jail for what you did, the more information we have gotten. Right, Geppetto? Right, Muffin Man? Right, Calvin? Right, Blankenship and Desiree, who the fuck you people are? I've heard your names come up in recordings. I don't know you. I've never met you that I know of. So how did we get those names, Princess Perry? I call you Princess Cuckoo Bird. You're loonier than you're nuttier than a fruitcake. Looney Toony. You're drowning in it. It's disgusting. I don't have to be nice to a cop killer. I don't. I'm sorry you think you think a lot of things, whack job things. I don't have to be nice to a cop killer. I don't. And a man who's tried to kill me more than once, and were it not for police from somewhere else recording fucking everything you guys say, I'd be dead. I'd be on the first 48. They'd have their new episode. Here, we got a good one. This one was an easy solve. Yeah, go shoot fish in a fucking barrel. Call me when you do something hard. I've seen White. He's good. So where's White now for Mike Neely? Where is he? Where is he? He's your brother. Cop family. You heard of that? So I'm gonna let you look at this again because it's
other news. God is moving at South Tulsa Baptist Church.
Oh God.
Check out our upcoming events at South Tulsa.
Miller's face was beaten. Investigators say the guard told Neely to get off and ended up pulling Neely off Miller. They said Neely then rolled off the bed and fell on his face, busting his nose and lip. Investigators say Miller was unresponsive.
I'm feeling my hands. My hands don't feel anything. What's he dead from? I don't understand.
I mean, it appears that he's been beaten to death.
Neely told investigators both he...
Now, what would White say there? Right there. It appears he was beat to death. I have nothing on my hands. It appears he was beat... Do you hear the insanity in that right there? What would Jason White say to that? But if Jason White is interviewed by the news, first 48 people or something, what the Dateline? For 48 hours, Nancy Grace, one of these true crime people. What the hell? What do you think Jason is going to say right there in that comment? There's nothing on my hands. look at my hands. He's hitting his hands. Like, my hands are bruised. They're not broken. It appears he was beat to death. Exactly. We get that. Mr. Chief Miller's, let me tell you what the medical examiner said that he died of internal decapitation. What that means is, inside his body, his head came off. He was decapitated. His head wasn't cut off like you have with a normal decapitation and all full out. It was internally taken off his body. He was hit back and forth, she said, so hard that his head came off his body. And Officer Neely's pointing out, and where is the evidence on me that I did that? Where is it, Detective White? Where is it? I mean, this is outrageous. It's outrageous.
He and Miller had been drinking vodka. He says the two went to dinner and started watching a football game after that.
Lucky is dead. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Huh.
Neely faces a second-degree murder charge. Florida jail records show his next court date is in mid-February. Manford City Hall says Neely resigned from the police department. Amy Slanchik, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's the guy's in jail, prison, and has been since 2019, November 10th. I filed my complaint on the 6th. Let me see. It was either the 6th or the 4th. It was 6 days from the death, whatever day he was murdered. 6 days. When I filed a police report because somebody drugged me, same amount of time passed, and I'm false arrested for filing a false police report, and there was no blood taken. There was no blood draw to rule out arsenic poisoning. Confirm it or rule it out. You can't say that the police report was false if you never allowed it to be investigated. No evidence was properly collected. Not by Tulsa Police, not by Matt Powell. So, I'm complaining of getting sick. I asked David Robertson in the text, is it arsenic or phenobarbital? I'm looking at symptoms online. And he replies in a text, yes. And I file a police report, and I get no evidence collected. They didn't see the text. They didn't collect those texts. They didn't take my blood. And to this day, we don't know what the hell it was. I've not been sick like that before or after. So, false. What was false about it? You'd been threatening it. Mr. Perry, I will ask you again, get out of my phone. You got to keep up with everybody else. No one cares what you think. You weren't asked, Connie Curry. I get out of my phone. When you guys complain about getting told on, Geppetto, Calvin, all y'all, understand that comes to be when you piss my guys off, because Mr. Perry's contacting me. I don't like it, and he does it anyways. And he's creepy about it. Hacking is a crime, stalking is a crime, coercion is a crime, witness tampering is a crime, obstruction of justice is a crime, perjury is a crime, destruction of evidence is a crime. In fact, destruction of evidence is evidence in and of itself of murder, attempted murder. You tried to kill me. If you wanted, if you weren't poisoning me, you would have made sure there was a blood test. You'd have held a big old drama queen, I like being a victim, whiny little press conference to show everybody the test results are negative. But that's not what you did. You made sure there was never a test because you knew you were poisoning me and you knew it would show positive. You've tried to kill me again since, more than once. Your hitman asked, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And you said, you make sure she takes the shot. You tell her she'll die if she doesn't. Right after I got in touch with the Florida State's attorney and said Mike Neely was drugged in March. It was in January and again in March 2020. He didn't do it. He got the wrong guy. He got the wrong fucking guy. Prosecutor's office is not to be used to intimidate people or prevent the second time you might have been arrested had there been justice. You and who at CBD gave my police report to the offender? Who the fuck does that in a domestic violence case? So we got some things here that went wrong that need to be corrected, don't you think? I would think they do. I'm living in my car. And Mr. Perry calls this morning, please take her car away, then she'll fall in love with me. If only she has nothing but food in a dumpster to eat, I'll support her. You took my money. You owe me money. I want that money. I don't want you to support me. You type in my phone, what's your price? What's your price? I'm going to tell you something. Give it back what you took and get out. And that's my price. That has always been my price. That will always be my price. I'm not going to lie for you. You're trying to starve me into it. We all get it. You've made your point. I'm going to starve her until she lies. She won't take my bribe, so I'm going to have to starve her till she thinks she doesn't have a choice. And everybody knows that, sir. So I'm telling everybody, Officer Neely was drugged. Guess what? Depositions weren't even taken yet. That happened in May. I said it in March. He was drugged. He didn't do this. Anybody can look at this interview and go, he didn't do it. How do you look like that? He's found drugged. He's found unconscious, in respiratory distress. Doesn't remember anything, doesn't have a mark on him. You know what that tells me? I can Sherlock a case. You know what that tells me? He's a victim of attempted murder by drugging. The fight was between Lucky Miller and whoever put that in his drink. They were talking about the Epstein case right before that murder. Mr. Perry's been accused of that type of crime. Sex weirdo crime. So he was about to go to jail. I understand that Mike Neely told Matt Powell, you keep calling me wanting me to arrest Cynthia for harassment of you. And I'm sorry, but I need to check into some things. There was a room right by her where David Robertson had all his employees staying, covered from head to toe, from top to bottom, of the same powder that's in her trunk. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm a cop, and I'm good at it. If you're good at it, you don't believe in coincidence. If you do, get out of law enforcement. You're in the wrong business. You're costing lives. People are dying. People are fucking dying. I'd be dead. They hired a hitman right after that. Mr. Perry was recorded. I think I found a hitman that can kill her, and it's not linked to us. We're going to fake a medical emergency out of her work. She's going to get in to help the guy. Then they're going to tell her the guy has a virus. She needs a shot, or she'll get it too. And your hitman said, what do I do if she won't take the shot? It was strychnine, wasn't it? It killed me dead. We'll tell her family it was just an unfortunate allergic reaction. And then they'll be fine with it. You really think my family would have been fine with that? But you got caught. You get caught when you do it to me. Why is that? I want you to answer that question. Why is it different, sir, when you do it to me? And it's the same every time you do it. And you think you have a choice when we tell you to fuck off? You don't have a choice. We don't know why you think you do, delusional. Please take her car, then she'll fall in love with me. You just like that, Pat. It's like, oh my God, ugh, yuck. Do you see this here? This video?
He has the intent to harass you.
He has the intent to harass me. That's why he's typing in my fucking hacked phone. Do you see this right here? Connecting the dots, TBD. That's how you do victims. That's how you treat victims. That's how you interact with victims. Don't go around on their food delivery. Oh, we're going to follow her on her food delivery and get her on our dash cam to prove she's, it's not illegal to do food delivery last I checked. What the hell was that? You guys used to come in and get lap dances, right? Let's see if we can get her on prostitution. So here's the thing about Mr. Robertson had texted me. He used to he's grabby. Grabs that crotch. And there's texts that are on the docket. Anybody can look and see where I'm telling him, stop grabbing my crotch. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to stop grabbing your crotch. And I'm like, no, grab somebody else. Leave me alone. Stop grabbing my crotch. Clearly, you can tell that's not the first time that conversation had happened. So, and I think Detective Egan was like, so you let him do that? And I was like, traumatized. And I was like, yes, I need the evidence. Well, I didn't mean, yes, I let him grab my crotch. I meant, yes, I was going to expose myself to this person to some extent so that I could get my evidence. And I got it. Did I not? So, anyways, probably more than anybody else has, right? So he sends in about 20 guys grabbing my crotch. Let's see if she lets guys grab her crotch. And I didn't. I don't. That's not my thing. It's sexual battery, by the way, to do that, even in a strip club. So what our prosecutor said, though, is he goes, here's the thing that Mr. Robertson is stupid about, is that even if you did, let's just say for argument's sake, you let every guy in there grab your crotch but him, you told him no. He's still guilty of sexual battery, even if you let everybody else in there grab your crotch. You don't want him to. Maybe he's got a hand virus. Maybe you just don't like him. So, if you told him no and he did it anyway, it's still sexual battery, even if you let everybody else in that room do it. So for him to send in all these guys to grab your crotch so he can, let's get everybody to sexually batter her, or try to. Some of those guys you sent in, it was a fucking wrestling match in the VIP. There was one guy spent $400 on a 1-hour VIP. He got 15 minutes, and that was that. He got a 15-minute, he paid $400 for what should have been a 1-hour VIP because he wouldn't stop fucking grabbing my crotch. So the third time I had to tell him to cut it out, I said, we're done. Get out. And he left. He got 15 minutes. I did not put up with that. But even if I did, if I told David no, then for David it was no. I said it in a text. So there's that. So if you guys would come in and get a fucking lap dance from me, take me to fucking lunch. Okay? And then we'll just chat. And you can get that on the body cam. Charles, no one's going to talk to you. You don't, listen, get out of my phone. I don't like your contact and you're doing it anyways. What happens when you do that is we get more because you're pissing us all off. You don't even make sense. And you don't understand a word I say. And I'm tired of repeating myself, so I'm not wasting my time talking to you. And no one cares what you think. You need a lie. We get it. You made your point. We don't have to be told more than once. I said no. I don't want you to support me. You took my money. You owe me money. You used my body against my will without my permission for entertainment and exploitation. You're going to pay me. And get out. Do you understand? So, it's called another lawsuit after your conviction. You're going to pay it. There's also a thing called restitution. It's all mixed up in what part is going to go through restitution and what part would go in a civil suit subsequent. You're violating me right now, vulgarly. Let me tell you something. Men who peep are a humongous, huge, massive turnoff to all women. You're a turnoff. You don't have a date. Nobody's in love with you. You're rejected. You're told on and told on and told on and told on. You're already in so much doo-doo, I don't know how the fuck you think you're going to get out, but for your delusion. So for you to have the nerve to think I would have a conversation with you, you are nuttier than we thought. You don't understand me. Why would I waste my time? I've had to repeat myself too much. I don't do that. Sorry. Sorry, not going to happen. I'm not a special ed teacher. I don't do the puppets and the crayons and the finger paints. I'm not trained for that. It's not my area of expertise. You're going to have to find a specialist. I don't waste my time. If you want to confess to what you've done and explain why the fuck you did this, then you go, and when you're arrested, then you can, they'll give you Miranda, you waive your counsel, and I'll come talk, you all come listen to why the fuck you did that. I don't want to hear how you feel, and you need, and whining. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm in my car, sleeping. You are in a nice cushy house with your shower and everything, I got to go somewhere to take a shower. I got to go somewhere to pee. It's that bad. And now you're trying to take that too. Thinking now she'll fall in love with me if I take everything she has. She's eating out of a dumpster. Then she'll lie. And of course everybody would believe me. Being that you cause unbearable duress, right? Oh, God. Yeah, that was, so anyways. So there they go. Anyways, so why would I waste my time talking to somebody who doesn't understand a word I say? I mean, I'm not gonna. How about what I feel? How about I want for you to get out of my life? I want for you to pay back what you took and get out. Okay? And when I say that you're going to pay it back, I mean through legal process. I'm not trying to extort fuck from you. There's no blackmail. If we find something out strategically for the case, we put it out. If we feel like we need to withhold it, we do. And there's a lot of that. You don't know the half of it. So, this right here, Tulsa Police talks about
$453,000 in affiliate commissions in 60 days.
Oh,
Without Amazon, Shopify.
It talks about when you get a vandalism complaint, you might want to ask the victim questions. They might be being stalked and not even know it. That's what it says. I can't play the whole thing. They get into copyright shit. But this whole thing, this whole YouTube channel has all these videos in training police and how to deal with a stalking victim. It's not like you do. It's not at all like you have. So I have to live with the one that did it right and what happened to him. And it didn't have to happen. It didn't. That fight was not between Lucky and Mike. That fight was between whoever put dope in his drink. And then Lucky's yelling at him, what'd you give him? And they're fighting. And John comes up, Hotel John. You guys are fighting, and Lucky opens the door, but he wouldn't open it wider than what you could see his face, he said. Who was behind him? The murderer. Mike slept through the whole thing. That's why there's not a mark on him. You can't beat someone to death. Hitting them back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and that so hard the head comes off the body and have nothing on you. There was no murder weapon found. It didn't get up and walk out of the room by itself. There was no opioids found on Lucky or Mike. Where did they come from? How'd they get in Mike? And how much exactly did he have? They didn't test him until after he's at the hospital. So what happens is, first of all, anybody that watches Las Vegas CSI and all these, Dateline and all this shit, all the stuff on Discovery Channel, everybody in America now knows, and the O.J. Simpson thing, everybody in America now knows what the proper collection of evidence needs to look like, so you don't compromise the integrity, and it can blow a case if you don't do it right. Where's my blood test? Where is it? Mike needed to be tested while he's unconscious and in respiratory distress right then. What did his blood look like that caused him to be in that condition? Not after he's given Narcan, and now the chemical composition of his blood has changed. It's different now. So it's not going to be, we're not going to know how much opioids was in him. Who gave them to him? Where'd they come from? And his attorney, Mitchell, with his magic ass, he beat somebody to and nobody questioned what. Yeah, I questioned it. In fact, Gene Mitchell said, how did she know my legal argument before I made it? I did know. I did text him. You can't say that. It's not even it's not possible, much less plausible. You can't fucking say that. Here's what happened. Somebody else got in that room. Lisa Neely said when her husband was going to bed, he wore sweats. He was in his street clothes. So they had a guest in there. And that guy's out killing still. Or trying to. Alright, let's find another hitman. Let's kidnap her. Let's starve her into a lie. Interfere with commerce and contracts. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. You're stealing my money. I want my money. And I want for you to be gone. We all do. We don't have problems getting information. You do. We don't have leaks. You do. You have no idea what I just said. That's why I won't talk to you. You fucking don't even know what I just said. You don't understand it. So if you're a sociopath or psychopath or something, you'll have wires in your brain everybody else has wires in their brain that tell you should be empathetic. And these people don't have that. Mr. Perry has never once expressed any kind of remorse for what he's putting these families through. And when I say express remorse, I mean don't just go, oh, I'm sorry, because that's what you want to hear, right? You wanted me to say those words, but they're empty. Unless you start trying to make it right. You stop causing the suffering and the harm and the injury, and you try to make it right. That's what true remorse is. You stop. You don't just say words if I say words I think that person wants to hear, maybe then they'll, do what I want. Nobody wants what you want, except the guys on your payroll. Try to ask them to do it for free. See if they will. Yeah, but they won't. Alright, so Forget the trans part. I mean, it's really actually very inappropriate for them to have done this back then. But what I'm referring to is you're whiny like this. You're fucking whiny. You sound just like that. Forget the sex of whoever that is. You know, the big thing with that is this person a female or a male? Nobody knows. Fuck that. That's not my point here. My point here is, in fact, that was inappropriate, really. But my point here is the whining. You sound like this.
Happy birthday, dear Pat. Make a wish. What a wonderful surprise. A lot of people say, what's that? It's Pat.
The whiny. Please take her car away, then she'll love me. Please lie for me. Please, I'm going to starve her into a lie. Please lie for me. Oh my God, and the devastation you've caused, and you don't give a fuck about that. You don't give a fuck about that. And no one knows what to even say. No one knows what to say. It doesn't faze you at all. How horrible, how horrified everybody else is by what you have done. It doesn't even faze you. You need a lie. I want to know who's leaking. And no one gives a fuck about that. You know what we care about? The people you've hurt. How they feel. The devastation you have caused is astronomical. We will never get over it. And you don't give a fuck about that at all. And we're horrified by that and by you. And we don't have a problem getting information. You do because of it. The longer you're in my life, the longer you invade my privacy, the longer Michael Neely sits in jail day after day after day, separated from his family for something you did while you go out and reoffend. The more we get, the easier it is to get whatever it is you're trying to do criminally. People are horrified and disgusted by you all. So when you complain that I found something out before, how did she find out about that? How did she know about that? It is because you pissed off people and you turned to get people against you don't want turned against you, I assure you. And so why, when we tell you, get the fuck out of my life, don't contact me again or anybody I know, and you think you have a choice, being quoted and caught day after day after day for 7 years. Why are we getting that? It's not because we're bored. It's not going to be used as party entertainment. We want a conviction and death penalty. Do you understand? Why do you think you have a choice after we have all that? Nobody understands. What kind of mental slow you must be to think you have a choice. You don't have a choice. You have no idea what it means that we have that. You're fucking, slow. You don't understand what it means that we have that, or you'd stop. You'd shit yourself and stop it. No one else has that. Right, Geppetto? Right, Calvin? Right, Blankenship and Desiree? Who the fuck are you people? Who are you? Everybody's sick of this. The suffering and the hardship. You have leaks, we don't. We can get information, you can't. You don't know what that means, do you? Yep. No one cares what you think, and you need a lie. Everybody's like, yeah, after he caused such devastation in her life, she lies now. Everybody's going to know he made her lie. She's telling the truth. He thinks we're as stupid as he is. We're not. A reporter said, had they done what she said in March 2020 when he started bribing her, what's your price? How much, what can we pay for all? What's buy a lie? What's the amount on the buy a lie? Or I'll murder you. Or kidnap you. my response was the same in 2020 as it is right now today. Give it back and get out. And that means get Mike Neely home to his family. Cut out your charade. You're walking around, naked with your eyes closed, and we can all see you just fine. Our eyes are not closed. We're not stupid. So when he now I lost my train of thought. When she said if he done what she said, had they gotten Mike Neely home and she's fine, and she continued to assert they killed Chief Miller, even if they really did, nobody would believe her. But that's not what they did. Once again, you have, acts showing consciousness of guilt, kind of like, we're not going to give her a blood test. We're going to make sure that evidence is destroyed because it'll show we were poisoning her. We want to coerce a lie, so we're going to starve her into a lie. Now we have 4 fraudulent court cases, 4 of them, Part 3 civil ones, and this one. So we know they killed Chief Miller, or they wouldn't do all that. You're not doing it to some random chick in, Oregon or Alaska or New Jersey. You're doing it to me in Oklahoma. And the cop that helped me 6 days before with a simple vandalism complaint. But that vandalism complaint, had he determined, yeah, they did this, would have also been a perjury complaint, wouldn't have a charge. Because you did go into court and say, oh, we're not doing all this. We're not doing what she says. And you are. And you know you are. You've made this so easy, it's not even fair. That's Granddad. We're called to relieve suffering caused by crime. We don't cover it up. We don't become the bitch of a sex weirdo. He did the right thing. It was not easy. He went through shit. And his name is on the police front, right here, front door of the police department. Nobody remembers the guy that put him through shit. Nobody knows who he was. Nobody remembers him. Mr. Perry, again, I don't care what you think. Why do you think I do? Why do you think that? You continue to try to talk to me like you think I care what you think. I've made it clear that I don't. It's not what I said. I didn't ask you what you think, did I? I asked you to shut up and get away from me. You tried to talk to me anyway, and it's, nasty. Those guys, TPD gave me that in jail. It's very specific to me, don't you think? I'm not going to explain it again. You keep up with me. I'm not slowing down for you. This was in 2014. Leave me alone. We got to get her back to Texas where we can do more to her. We got to kidnap her. And we can't find somebody to, grab her and throw her in a van. So what we're going to do is take all her money. And it's called interference with my commerce and contract. You were told, I wish I told you guys not to get her kicked out of that hotel. They refused payment twice. She didn't have a contract, but the other second part of that is commerce. Any buying and selling of anything. It's commerce. You're interfering with that, butt-in. Doesn't that puzzle depict you as a butt-in? You and Connie Curry ought to date. You're the same. Butt-in, nosy, boring, and you're lazy. Women are attracted to men that work hard and are busy, doing good things and have something interesting to talk about, and you're a huge turnoff. Anybody that peeps, huge turnoff to women. That's why you're by yourself. Where's Jacqueline, though, while you bother me? Where's your wife that you betray? Your kids that you betray when you bother me? Where are they? How embarrassing for you. So this was recorded. I think Calvin said that one. And then they did it. This was on the 9th. We got her kicked out of Oklahoma. She got to take the yellow brick road. We'll take everything she has and give her a bus pass. Recording after recording after recording after recording. See, you have leaks, we don't. We can get information and you can't. Nobody tell you who's helping me. And you know what? Nobody owes you an explanation. You're the offender. You killed the cop. I don't think it's cute. Tulsa police want to think that's cute. That's their problem. I don't think it's cute. Mr. Consuelo wants to think that's cute. He wants to support. He's I'm gonna overlook domestic violence. I'm gonna support. Don't get up and give a speech about how you want to fight domestic violence if you're gonna let this go, because you don't really mean it. Then point out for me, where's the injuries on him? They look like he was in a fight. If you're gonna beat somebody to death so hard, their head goes back and forth, their head comes off their body, you're gonna look like you were in a fight. My kid was hit 3 times. Look at his face. It's all bruised and cut. Mike was injured. Even the arrest report, Right here. Anybody can read it. Nothing but a busted lip and nose after he's picked up off of Chief Miller and thrown face first into the floor. That news report didn't say he was found unconscious and drugged, but it does right here in his deposition. EMTs were deposed, and they described how he was found. Unconscious, didn't make any sense, incoherent, and in respiratory distress. He was treated with Narcan, they said. Well, here's what I said months before that. He was drugged. He didn't do it. He wasn't given a full tox panel. He wasn't. Not when he was found in that condition. And he should have been. So he suffered the degradation of evidence. Me and him both did. That's a pattern now. Both of us have a false arrest within a week of a report being made against Charles Perry. Charles Lee Perry of Lubbock, Texas. So there's another pattern. Now, when I made my police report and it's given... Shut up, Charles! Listen, get out of my phone. I don't care what you think. Why do you think I do? I don't care. Please, would you shut up? I don't care. No one understands why you think I do. Will you please shut up and get out of my phone? I have another phone. It types away. It's maddening. And I'm having to repeat myself again. So, you have Alzheimer's, sir? Answer the question. Why is it you think we get all this information before? I want you to answer. Why is it different when you do it to me? Answer the question. Why is it different? Answer that question. Why do you think we're getting all this? Answer that question too. Or shut up. So, I think this was Chief Miller. They were wasting our time. Having us, they wanted us to pull her over and get her on the dash cam. Yeah, he just came out to the club. So, he didn't get a lap dance. He was very professional. He didn't get nothing like that. It was very, very professional. And this was about my car. We're going to have our car towed and sold before she figures out it's not even legal. And they've gone at my car every day since. My car's been wrecked 5 times since that email right there. Yeah, nobody will suspect a thing. You're a fucking genius, you know that? You see this, TPD? I got that in jail, not some random time in my life. Fabian was the man who made me hope. The man I wanted to date that Charles butt in. The man that a girl at Lady Godiva said, we're told that we're not allowed to talk about Fabian. We're not allowed to let you talk about him. I've never seen so many old, wealthy farts shit themselves. These arrogant pricks walk in here and, boss everybody around. And all of a sudden, when Fabian's name comes up, they all shit themselves. So, what is that all about? And this isn't about a date. That guy told us we're supposed to try to find some way to false arrest you. What happened to dinner and a movie? That's what you do if you want a date. This isn't about a date, and I didn't graduate high school. And even I know this is not what happens when you want a date with somebody. What is this really all about? I'm coming to work What are they bothering me with? Everybody was mad at you for doing that. So, this is, see that everybody's tired. People don't like to feel sad or stressed out or anxious. Charles, shut up. Turn off, pervert. Get out of my phone, please. You shouldn't even know what I'm doing right now. And yet you do. And kind of like when I'm trying to do food delivery and all of a sudden, everywhere I go, there's a cop getting me on his dash cam. How does he know I was going to be there? Hacking. There's no other way you can know. You got to get around the algorithm to get me as the driver to your little buddy with the camera and the doorbell. There's no other way. Where's the court order for that? What's the probable cause for it? It's not illegal to do food delivery. If one of you thinks I'm doing something illegal while I'm doing my food delivery, get in my fucking car and go with me. Alright? You want to do it? Just do it. Let's not try to be sneaky about it. Just do it. Just come up to my car and go, hi, I'm Officer something. I'm going to go with you on your food delivery today. And I'm like, fine, get in my car, but you're buying me lunch. Do you understand? That's the deal. That's the trade-off. Mr. Perry's starving me. You're going to take me to lunch or wherever. Whatever the cost is, I don't want to hear it. You're going to put me through that, you're going to buy me lunch. That's all there is to it. So, they get me this puzzle, not at some random time in my life, in jail. When Charles had me false arrested for reporting being poisoned with arsenic. And I got no test. If he didn't do it, he would have made sure there was a test. He made sure there was no test. Twice now. Me and Officer Neely. The other thing that happens is, it's not protocol to give the offender the police report in a domestic violence case or any case. And yet that's what happened when I gave TBD my report. No evidence collected, no texts, no blood, nothing. Which everybody who watches TV now knows you got to do that. It used to be that you could you could fool the public. Not now. Not now. The public is now very in tune with the fact that there has to be the proper collection of evidence. So, there was none. Justice was obstructed, and there was perjury. Mr. Perry thought he was a victim of a political vendetta. You don't matter. You just flat don't matter. You didn't bother to think about where I came from before I met you. I had a whole life in politics. You were the new guy. You hadn't run for shit. You hadn't even voted, I guess. I don't care about that, but what I do care about is that you thought, well, you're not all there, so you didn't think anything through, which works in my favor, by the way. You're old, and you're dementia, and you're sloppy now, so you're easier to catch. You're slow. So this right here depicts the fear. People don't like the fear. They don't like drama. They don't like feeling sad or scared or stressed out or anxious. And they don't like people that cause all that. And that's you. So we have no problem getting information. You do. And you have leaks and we don't. The longer you're in my life and invading my privacy, the more we get. The longer I'm broke because you're taking my money, the more we get. Cause and effect. When you cause a problem, everybody starts getting pissed off. So we don't have problems getting information. That's the effect. You act like you fucking don't know what I just said. And before and after. I always have the information before, not after. You're the butt in. It causes sadness and fear. See all these right here? I got it beforehand, not after. This is not trying to explain away something. This is beforehand. That's all my fucking wrecked car vandalisms and blah. All the shit you guys did. After this car accident, where the guy says I backed into him, I did back into a brick mailbox about 2 months after that. But I didn't, that night, there's nothing on it. I didn't back into shit. But I did, like 2 months after that, I fucking did back into a lady's big old brick mailbox. Anyways, it's a different event though. So, I mean, this is evidence of premeditation. How'd you know he had to be coaxed? Like you're trying to coax me to Texas. You used my ex-husband to coax me to Texas. Conduit of coercion. Conduits, you got a lot of those. And, a lot of car accidents, a lot of vandalism. Watch Connecting the Dots, TPD. Before you talk to me, you better fucking know your shit. Because I do. I know a whole lot more about it than you do. That's my whole family, law enforcement. That's my grades until you caused me, that one class where you jammed my computer up. You guys had a little meeting. Well, we got to try to make her fail because she's a little too good at what she does. And so jammed up my computer. I couldn't get assignments done. I had a 3.9. See? That's your fault, not mine. Get her kicked out of her house. Make her take the yellow brick road. Make her take our bribe. Starve her into a lie. And you want to support me. I don't want you to support me. You owe me money. $1,000 a day for using my body against my will. Invading my privacy in the most vulgar, hideous, horrific, turn women off way on the planet. And sure as shit, you used my ex-husband to try to coerce me. Look at all that. Taking our money. You took my money. You're doing exactly what I say. So what am I supposed to lie about? I won't lie for you. I won't do it. I'm sleeping in my car not to. But the longer I have to sleep in my car, the more we get. How much more have we got since August 2nd? This morning. Please take your car away. Please, then she'll love me. Please. I'm hurt. No one cares. And you're not hurt. You don't even have that wire in your head. You're mad that you got caught again. So, we all know that. We don't know what the hell you think it is I'm supposed to lie about, because we always get it before. This is evidence of premeditation of a first-degree murder of a police officer. Mr. Perry, why is it you think I care what you think? That's not what I said. You need to keep up with everybody else. You can't do it, can you? Lucky did come to the club and talk to me. I'm not, he was just fishing to see if I would say what we talked about. Yeah. Also, here, he's fishing to see, I know you're subpoenaed. I'm going to talk to you anyway. I'm going to tamper with a witness anyway. Where is that fucking text? Did I go by it already? Here it is. Here's the subpoena with your name on it to testify. I'm gonna witness tamper with you anyway. Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513, and I'm gonna assert my right to equal protection to the application of that law and all state laws. Tulsa Police, Mr. Kuntzweiler. So he's fishing right here to see if I knew which one of them talked Mike into going, because he didn't want to go, and which victims are talking to us. Who's Monique to you? Who's Blankenship to you? Who's Calvin to you? Who's Desiree to you? Who's Geppetto to you? Who's the Muffin Man to you? When you fuck with me, it's different. We get what you just said beforehand in your planning part of it. That proves malicious intent, malicious aforethought, premeditation, harsher sentences with that. Much harsher sentences when it's premeditated. Right? You planned it. You planned it. You planned to commit a crime in the forum state of Oklahoma where I am. I came here, I moved twice to get away from you. To not have the drama, not have the conflict, not have the scandal, not have anything. I don't want to hear what you think. That way I don't have to deal with what you think and what you feel. You're whiny. Selfish. When you focus on you, you is all you end up with. There's other men that have a date, like a real date, normal date. They don't peep, they don't hack, they don't kill cops. I don't know, it's like a little clue of what people like and don't like. Society has a way of correcting wrongs. O.J. Simpson was kicked out of his country club, and it was kind of perplexing to him. I just got away with this. And they're like, yeah, no, you didn't. You're not coming back here. So he may have benefited from the failure of police to properly collect the evidence. He may have benefited from that and not been in prison, but he still has consequences. There's still societal corrections for deviant behavior. And so I'm going to say it for the last time. Why is it different when you do it to me? You need to answer that question, Mr. Perry. And, understand what same and before. Before and after, same and different, cause and effect. We all learned that in daycare. Watch Sesame Street so you can figure it out. Or get a special ed teacher. So, Tulsa Police, instead of dash camming me, whichever one of you wants to talk to me and go fucking DoorDash with me or Uber Eats with me or whatever it is I choose to do on any given day, then just ride along. Why don't you do a ride along with me and take me to lunch? You're gonna buy. We're gonna go wherever I choose, and then you can just talk to me. Get it on your damn body cam, so that I don't know what the hell you're after. What's the crime? What's the crime? Just do what you do. But it's not like we didn't know. First of all, everywhere I go, there's a cop car sitting there, facing, face forward, like where the dash cam is. Immediately I'm going, that's a little odd. Why is that? Why are they sending me? We already know you hacked my apps. We already know that whoever orders from me are your people. We all know that. You're not fooling anybody. We all know that. They hear all your conversations when you're planning it. Why won't she go to Chipotle? We heard it. We got that. We got it. My guys have that. So we already know it's your people. So if there's a cop car sitting there, then, backed into a parking place, and I'm like, everywhere I go, I'm like, yeah, they're dash camming me today. And why would you need to do that? Because it's not illegal to do food delivery. I'm just minding my own business, doing my job. I'm not bothering anybody. Mr. Perry's a cop killer. Why aren't you bothering him? Why don't you go after him? I've got plenty of evidence here. I mean, again, I don't slow down for people who are slow. I don't. You're gonna have to keep up with us. We've gotten more than anybody else has gotten. Right, Geppetto? Right, Calvin? Right, Muffin Man? Right, Blankenship and Desiree? So, I mean, your name is on your job. It's on your work product. There's honor in the badge. Right? That's what I was taught. Do your best, because your name's on that shit. That's your reputation. And don't be fucking sloppy with it. Don't half-ass it. You do it right or go home. So, this guy right here, I can't describe the heavy on me all the time, and the death of police officer Chief Miller. I can't describe it. You have no idea what it's like to have to live with that. Had I not make that phone call, would they still be there, home with their families? Would their families still have them? And I can't live with it. I don't know how you can. I can't. I'm not suicidal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just sitting back and doing nothing. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sleeping in my car because I won't lie. It's retaliation against a witness in the trial of a murder of a police officer who is wrongfully convicted. Because the evidence is what I look at. I don't give a fuck what people say. Witnesses are notoriously wrong. So it's good to have the witness statement. However, that witness statement must be corroborated with evidence. Jason White, what would you think if you were sitting in that room and Mike Neely is showing you his hands? And someone's just been beat to death. And there's nothing on him. You're the guy in the first 48 everybody watches. What would you say if you're sitting in that room and he's showing you his hands, he's hitting his hands? Nothing. What? Yes, I understand Chief Miller was beat to death. We get that. You said it already. You're repeating yourself. I don't have to have things repeated. I'm telling you, again, I'm repeating myself. Where's the injuries on my hands that look like I did that? So, we've all had it with your stupid, Mr. Perry. We've all had it. The longer you're invading my privacy and in my life, the more you contact me when I've told you to stop it. I don't like it, and you do it anyways, and that makes everybody really mad. Boundaries, bitch. Social skills. Get some. The longer I'm broken, the longer this guy is in jail, the more we get, and the easier it is to get. Because everybody's getting more angry, and more angry, and more angry, and more angry. Watch the news. People do not like corruption. Look at Derek Chauvin. Look how the world blew up. People don't like suffering, and they don't like corruption. We can get information, and you cannot. We don't have leaks, you do. How many times have I said that just in this podcast? Golly. I can't stand your slow, Charles. I can't stand your stupid. Your senile dementia. I can't stand it. Get it away. Get it out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I don't want you to support me. I don't want your BioLine money. What I'd like you to do is pay back what you owe me, what you stole, and get out. Do you understand? I have said that over and over and over and over since March 2020, every fucking day. I should, one time is all I say it. Once. Do you understand? One time. Keep up with everybody else, please. You're like irritating. So, what happens when there's suffering and stuff is everybody starts getting sick of their stomach and their feelings they don't want to feel. Guilt. When you ask them to help hurt me and they don't want to. Stress, anxiety, fear, sadness. You make everybody feel all the feelings they don't want to feel. We don't have a problem getting information. You do. We don't have leaks. You do. Did you not? You don't understand a word I just said, do you? Nope. So, not my problem. You know what I can do? Sherlock a case, ousting up anybody. Okay? What I can't do is I don't have the expertise for dealing with special needs people. I don't have it. I'm sorry. I just don't have it. That's not my thing. I can catch a crime easy in my sleep. I have yours like nobody else in your life has. And you act like you have no fucking idea what that means. Yep. So, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the, they have continued to mess with my DoorDash apps and my food delivery apps. I'm getting watched delivering food, like that's illegal or something. And by TPD and Broken Arrow. So, these guys came in and got lap dances from me, a lot of them, to see if I was going to do some prostitution, or is she drunk, or is she on anything. And I wasn't. 6 years of it. But wasn't. They tried to do some prostitution by sock thing. Well, what that was is I took my shoes off to do a lap dance. Not so that there's prostitution. It's so I don't poke a hole in the furniture. So, there is not... I guess there's a law in the books that says you can't have your shoes off during a lap dance, or it's prostitution or something like that. But the failure... Okay, I had asked a lot of cops about that. What's the deal with that? So because sometimes girls are like, just their fucking feet hurt. Why is that wrong for them to take their shoes off? And they're like, no, your feet have to be covered. So I always wore socks, so my feet were always covered. And they were like, we don't really enforce that. It's kind of stupid. So, I mean, really, there's like no sex happening here. You're just walking around with your shoes off because your feet hurt. Or you took your shoes off to do a lap dance because you want to not poke a hole in the furniture. So when I'm asking them, what's the deal with that law? And they said, it's just like, we don't really enforce it. It's kind of dumb. Put your, I'm giving lap dances to a cop, asking him about this. Just keep your feet covered. So I got socks, and I always wore socks. So that's why it's a joke now, prostitution by sock. But it's not actual prostitution. There's no sex. Secondly, no money was paid. No money was exchanged for that. But for money being exchanged for that act, I'm going to give you money for you to take your shoes off. There's no crime here, because I'm not getting paid for my shoes being off. I'm being paid for a lap dance. So I gave a lap dance. I didn't put up with the grabby shit. So you have to have, the money has to be exchanged for the specific act of taking your shoes off, for there to be a prostitution charge there. Otherwise, it's just not. The shoes are coming off for every girl in there. Every girl at every class. Also be selective prosecution, kind of like what happened with Stormy Daniel. Every girl in every strip club fucking takes her shoes off when they get hurt, for one of those two reasons: feet hurt, or you don't want to poke a hole in the furniture and you got to stand up and do a little air dance. So there's not actual sex though. There's none. So, but for there being money paid specifically for the act of taking your shoe off, where's the charge here? Where is it? So they tried to get me on something stupid like that just because Perry needs a smear campaign. He got caught, on stalking and coercion and witness tampering and all that stuff that we've caught him on, sex exploitation, stuff nobody else has caught. We caught it. So he wanted a smear campaign of let's get her on prostitution by sock, and just have the headline: she's arrested for prostitution. Anyways, I gave a lot of thanks to the guys that explained all that to me. I gave a lot of lap dances to cops. I had a great time with them. So the two of them that we've mentioned, Broken Arrow Bill and Mr. Clean, those are nicknames, by the way. Broken Arrow Bill and Mr. Clean, those are nicknames. So that's all I'm going to say. But Mr. Perry, these guys are busy with real crime, and you need to stop having them follow me around doing normal law-abiding citizen things. Working, I'm just doing normal things normal people do. Work. You did it in the strip club. You sent Pinto in. Now you're doing it with this. It's still stalking. You want to take my picture everywhere I go to prove you're not stalking me. You're deranged. You're absolutely deranged. And I guess somebody jumped on you the other day. You're saying you're an injured party here. Your injuries are related to getting caught. I'm not seeing any other injuries. You're always in Oklahoma. Well, that's where she lives, not you. You're living a fantasy life up here, telling people you're important, and you're not. You don't matter. You're a small town nobody. Nobody sits around wringing their hands, worried about what some small town, podunk, nobody senator from Alaska's doing. So why do you think they'd worry about what you're doing? You don't matter. You're a wannabe. You told people that there's a relationship between you and I, and there is, but it's not what you say. There's no romance. You're a turnoff. You're a job. I've done pretty fucking good at it too. Better than anybody else you know. So, it's a victim-criminal relationship, and it's you're a job for me, Mr. Perry, and you're getting caught the more you do things to me, and you seem not to be able to put it together in your head why that might be. 7 years every day. We quote you every day, and everybody gets all. How does she find out about that? I have help. Those guys that got me that puzzle in jail. You turn people up with a whole lot of power against you when you fuck with me. People that care about victims of crime. Suffering, torment, torture, of starvation of women and children, exploitation. People that care about that, not you. So, I'm going to apply the but-for legal standard here, and otherwise, everybody knows the rest of the disclaimer. It all applies here, use allegedly, blah, blah, blah. Everybody starts laughing at Mr. Worman now. Why you keep doing, your client keeps doing exactly what she says. She says it beforehand. So what exactly does she need to say use allegedly for? I mean, come on. People aren't stupid. But when you do it to me, we get more. It's cause and effect. Same thing every day. Day after day after day. So nobody understands why you think you have a choice when you're told to stop. Charles, you're not all there. You don't even make sense. You need to be put in a home. God.